Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be reviewing Cupcake Jemma's Levain cookies. So those of you who aren't familiar with an honest review, this is the segment where I go around trying out different recipes from different famous chefs and YouTubers and see how good the recipes actually are. This came about after a couple of my friends and family have tried out YouTubers' recipes and the recipes just do not work whatsoever. And so I thought it'd be very helpful for everyone else to see what works and what doesn't work. For those of you who aren't familiar with Levain cookies are a super popular cookie from a bakery called Levain in New York City. Cookies from Levain are super popular, with sometimes lines going around the block just with people waiting for Levain cookies. It's become so popular that lots of other YouTubers have created their own rendition of the recipes. So just to begin this off, I just wanted to state that I did not put nuts into the recipe, but you guys can. So the instructions for Cupcake Jemma's recipe are super duper easy to do, but the thing I did find is that it is very difficult to do the recipe if you do not have a KitchenAid or some sort of stand mix. This is because the butter is meant to be very cold, so creaming butter without any machinery is very difficult. So you're going to need a lot of elbow grease. Besides that, when you go to add in the flour to kind of create that breadcrumb texture that she speaks of, it creates a huge mess, which of course is not a big of a deal if you have a stand mixer, but if you have only an electric whisk like I do, or just a good old wooden spoon, becomes very, very difficult to do. And as you can see, I made a huge mess. I also found I had to use an extra egg in the recipe because it came out too dry and couldn't form a ball. It just kept falling apart. This is interesting, as if you were to compare this recipe to the one I reviewed for Joshua Wiseman's video, you'll find that he uses quite a bit more liquids. If I'm not mistaken, he used 5 eggs in that recipe, whereas this one only used 2, but I had to use 3. Besides those two things, the recipe came out perfect, and actually I baked the Joshua Wiseman cookies and the Cupcake Jemma cookies back to back, and I have to say that they are both incredible, but there are differences between the two. Joshua Wiseman's cookies were a bit more chewy and almost like cookie dough, whereas these were much more firm and a bit drier on the inside, as you expect with so much less liquid in it. And people's preferences on the recipe seem quite split between Joshua Wiseman's and Cupcake Jemma's recipes. For those of you who are curious about the price of making these cookies, I calculated from adding up all the different ingredients from a common UK supermarket. I found that in total it would come up to £5.72, which is a bit cheaper than Joshua Wiseman's recipe, but of course this could be made much more expensive if you go for more premium items instead of just store branded items. Overall, the cookie from Cupcake Jemma is great, but it isn't without its problems. You may also have issues with how dry the dough is, like I did, and if you don't have a mechanical mixer or even a stand mixer, you might find it very difficult to mix the ingredients and not make a huge mess. This makes the recipe a bit more difficult to make than Joshua Wiseman's recipe. Just like his, we found that Cupcake Jemma's recipe would be amazing as a base for pretty much any flavor combination that you'd like to try out in a cookie. Some of these flavor combinations have even been made already and are on her channel, such as an all chocolate cookie and a few others. But besides those points, I think it is definitely worth making and makes an amazing cookie. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more. And if you have any ideas for new recipes for me to try out, just leave it down in the comments down below.